Hello and welcome. So yesterday, Paper Games announced the newest Nikki game, Infinity Nikki, in the Nikki franchise. It's the fifth Nikki game, and there is so much to unpack here. So much. So we're going to jump right into it because we're going to try to get this all done in 30 minutes. The first thing we're going to do is try to answer some questions. We won't be able to answer all of them, but we're at least going to look at them. Then we're going to look at the interview with the producer of Infinity Nikki, Kentaro Tominaga, and then we're going to wrap up by actually looking at the announcement video. So let's begin with the questions. Who is the publisher? Will all the regions, China, Japan, and global, be launched at the same time? What gaming platforms will Infinity Nikki run on? And finally, how will the game be monetized? So let's start with, who is the publisher? To answer this question, we go to gematsu.com. I can't actually go to the website because it spams you with video ads, so I took a screenshot. But I will put a link to the website, to this article, in the description. It's got some great information. For example, it answers our first question. Who is the publisher? Paper Games says. Why is that even a question? Well, hang on, let's go look really quick at their official website. This is the English language version of the official website, and if you look at the URL, it's infoldgames.com, not papergames.com. Okay. It looks like the Paper Games will be both the developer and the publisher, so the process will remain streamlined. I really hope Gematsu.com has their information correct, because that's my source. The other thing that's great on this website, on Gematsu.com, is it has all of the social media accounts, which leads us into, these are the official social media accounts owned by Paper Games, which leads us to the next question. Will all the regions, China, Japan, and global, be launched at the same time? We can't answer that question, but we can look at maybe a little bit of a clue and hope in the social media accounts. So in the past, using Shining Nikki as an example, the game did not launch at the same time in all the different regions. For example, Shining Nikki launched in China, and then 2 years later, Japan and global launched. Japan launched 3 months earlier than global. So we had to wait for 2 years to get the game, this lovely game. But the social media accounts were also not released at the same time. They were launched in each region 2 or 3 months before the actual game was launched in order to build hype for the game. So they were also staggered. This is the first time that we're seeing the social media accounts all launched at the same time. This is unusual, this is new, and this gives us hope that perhaps, maybe it does not answer the question, just gives us a little hope that maybe all the regions will be launched at the same time. But of course, it doesn't answer that definitively. If you would like, these are links in the web page. If you want to actually get to any of the official websites, this web page can take you to them. It's really nice to get to. I like going to the actual official sites because, of course, that is the best source of information, is actually from Paper Games. All right, our next question is, what gaming platforms will Infinity Nikki run on? This answers it a little bit up here, but I think there's an IGN article that answers the question better. So let's go look at that. So this is IGN.com. I will put a link to this in the description. Here's the Gematsu.com. You can see this, the ad spam. I had to take a screenshot. So IGN.com, this is clearly a press release from the marketing department at Paper Games. Now, IGN.com might have put their own little spin on it, their own little flavor into it, but this is quite clearly a press release from Paper Games. It has some great information in it. Let me get my thing up. For example, open world. This will be 3D. This will be the first time that Mirrorland is a 3D open world, which is really cool. The other stuff that's really great in here is that dress for the occasion and equip different outfits to gain access to abilities such as fishing, insect catching, and floating. Those are sim elements. They're the only sim elements that I've seen. Sim gameplay, fishing and insect catching, definitely sim gameplay. But I haven't seen anything like housing or where you develop relationships with NPCs. I haven't seen anything like that. So the sim elements, the sim gameplay does seem to be fairly minor compared to exploring and adventuring through the open world and collecting. Now, Shining Nikki or Nikki games, Love Nikki, all of them, Nikki Up to You, that is what they are. They're collection games. And this will continue to be a collection game. They say that right here at the very beginning, the first sentence of the second paragraph. Join Momo and Nikki as they embark on a new adventure, collecting various pieces of clothing. So we're seeing 3 different gameplay aspects. We're seeing, you haven't, one of them is, I was supposed to say 3D platformer. We see that all over the place in the video, in the announcement video. You'll see that in a moment. So there's 3D platform, there's a touch of sim gameplay, and then there is obviously collection, that is Nikki gameplay right there. The last one answers our question about what gaming platforms will the game run on. Infinity Nikki is coming to PC, PS5, PS4, Android, and iOS. Which leads us to the last question: how will the game be monetized? So it's been a gotcha. And on the PC with games like StarCraft and Fortnite, they do loot boxes, which is basically the same thing, right? So the thing I'm kind of curious about is PS4. It is so old. Does PS4 allow for microtransactions? Can you do loot boxes on the PS4? Let's put our little question mark there. I find that really interesting. So I don't know if it has to, right? I mean, I can't imagine they're going to sell the game for $40 and that's it. Like, we're done. Here's your game. That's just not how paper games works. Even Love and Producer, it's always been microtransactions, in-app purchases, So once again, that particular question is not answered. But does PS4 do microtransactions? Can you do loot boxes on PS4 and PS5? All right, that's the end of the questions. I now wanted to look at the interview with the producer for Infinity Nikki, Kentaro Tominaga. Now, before we jump into that, I want to look at Kentaro Tominaga's pedigree, which is very cool. We have that right here. So we're on nintendo.fandom.com. I'll put a link to this in the description. We're going to go to the last paragraph because it's so exciting. So let's go ahead and circle that. We're looking at this right here. He later became the planning leader of A Link Between Worlds and Breath of the Wild. With the expansion pass DLC for Breath of the Wild, Tominaga was appointed the director. So he's had great experience. Oh my gosh, he's coming from a really great franchise and a great version of a great release of that franchise. So if we go down and look at GameWorks at the bottom, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Planning, The Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds Director Planning Lead, Sub-Director Planning Lead, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Game Design. Oh my gosh. And for the expansion pack, he was the director. This is who is our producer for our next Nikki game, which I think is very, very, very cool and exciting. All right, let's go look at the interview. So that is actually right here. As you see, it's in Chinese. I'll put a link to this in the description. Now, we can use Google Translate. I'm sure it'd get like 85% of it correct, but we don't have to do that because Irie has translated it. Irie, if you don't know who she is, she's lovely. I'm going to say she's my favorite Love Nikki YouTuber, and that's because she does story time. I love her story time so much. And so she's a Love Nikki YouTuber, and she has translated that. I'll put a link, of course, I'll put a link to her Instagram. She's translated that interview with Kentaro Tominaga, and that's what we're going to look at. So, interview with Infinity Nikki's executive producer, Tominaga Kentaro. Tominaga, is that his last name? Is he Mr. Tominaga? Please note that I am not a professional translator, though. I did translate the best of my abilities. Thank you, Irie. Thank you for this. All right, so question number 1. We are filled with curiosity about the idea of dress-up game X open world. Could you introduce the making of thought process behind Infinity Nikki? And this is Kentaro Tominaga's answer. There are mainly 2 points as far as Dress Up X Open World. The first is that there are certain special suits in the game. Once the player fully equips them, special abilities can be triggered. It's interesting that he says fully equipped. I wonder if you need the full suit or if you need some of the main pieces of the suit. It does sound like you need more than one piece, though. I don't know if it's the full suit, but he does say fully equip here. Fully equips them, special abilities can be triggered. It might be the full suit, I don't know. In the trailer, we've seen Nikki flying or casting magic. Those abilities all come from these costumes. Collecting and dressing up in different suits grants the player a diverse range of skills. The second for Dress Up Game X Open World is exploration, which is a significant part of open world games and also inseparable from the clothes in Infinity Nikki. For example, the player can obtain designs through exploration. So in the video, we're going to see her find a scroll. I'm wondering if, while she's exploring, I wonder if that scroll is a design, a clothing design. For example, the player can obtain designs through exploration, then explore to collect different materials. Okay, so she finds the scroll, then she's got to collect the materials. We're going to see all of this. He's basically describing the video that we're going to watch. Collect different materials and craft the different parts of the suits to add to their wardrobe. In the trailer, we can also see play modes such as fishing and catching critters. That's more the little sim elements. The insects and fish are also types of crafting materials. We do see that in the trailer. We'll stop and look at that, where you can see that fish and insects are items that you need to craft your recipe. The player collects suits, obtains new skills, and then uses these skills to collect more suits. This adventure and collection cycle is also a feature of the game. So it does seem to me like the game is mainly adventure, and a lot of 3D platformer is part of that adventure. And then, of course, collection. We're all about collection with Nikki. Question 2, do all suits in Infinity Nikki have skills? The answer, not all suits have special skills. We are trying to maximize the player's freedom in dressing up, which of course you want to do that. I mean, it's a dress-up game. Then there's some questions about Mr. Tominaga's, so it's Mr. Tominaga, okay. Mr. Tominaga's experience. I didn't know if it was Mr. Kentaro or Mr. Tominaga. Number 3. Will there be a growth system? Will Nikki and her clothes level up to become stronger? I think this is a great question. The suits will have a growth concept. Nikki will also have a specialty growth system. But Nikki's growth is not reflected through numeric parameters such as attack or defense. I think here he's talking about our traditional World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, those kind of MMOs, where as you level up, you have defense, you have attack. Those are numbers. They're actually numbers. That's how the program works, and then those numbers increase as you level up, and then so you become stronger. And Nikki doesn't have that, so it's not that traditional World of Warcraft kind of you level and your defense number is higher, and you level some more, and your defense numbers are your offense number is higher. Okay, next question. It seems that special suits and their skills are a vital gameplay element. However, in the traditional Nikki games, the main gameplay involves putting together an outfit and then using it to battle others, with victory determined by a score. We're so used to that. That's styling battles, right? In Love Nikki, we have the gifties giving our scoring, and we still see that also in Shiny Nikki. That's just how it's done. Will Infinity Nikki also have this feature? The styling battle element will still be in the game because the concept discussed here is evaluating outfits. Scoring will also be necessary, and the value of the score will be realized numerically. That's totally how Nikki is right now. So there is still a numerical component. On the other hand, we wish to better integrate styling battles and the open world so that styling battles become a motivation for the player to passionately explore the greater world. We hope to realize this integration through a photo-taking feature. So this is, I'm not quite sure what they mean, how this is going to be part of styling battles. The photo-taking feature, I have seen that. I have seen that over in Final Fantasy XIV. Is it 14? That's the MMO, right? If I got the right Final Fantasy? XXIV, yeah. Yeah, 14. Let's continue the next paragraph, and then we'll talk about Final Fantasy 14. There are many beautiful environments in the game, and one can take unique and refreshing photos simply by altering the angles or point of view. When the player encounters the meticulously picked and taken photos of other players, we hope that they will also be inspired to venture out to seek their desired backgrounds, their stunning angles, and take a unique photo that will then be shared to many more through styling battles. We look forward to seeing this interesting cycle form. Okay, so in Final Fantasy XIV, people would download mods, and the mods would make their avatar look really beautiful, because Final Fantasy XIV is kind of old, and these mods kind of update what the graphics cards can do with the modeling and make the models look more realistic. They would also, with these mods, be able to download create these beautiful looking clothes. Then this it's a subgroup of players. This is not part of the gameplay of Final Fantasy XIV. This was totally accidental that this happened. Then they would go out into the world of Final Fantasy XIV, get their angles just right, and take photos. It was all about taking photos out in the world with your beautiful avatar and clothes with the mods that were created by these mods. This community was created completely by accident. It wasn't gameplay that was designed into the game. It was serendipity. And so I'm wondering if like Paper Games saw this accidental community and was like, let's actually make that part of our gameplay. You know, clearly people are enjoying this. They've created this community in this game that's all about battling. There's social aspects as well, the social aspects and the battling. And they've created this community where you take pictures. That's what you do. And so it'll be interesting. I'm not really into this type of gameplay. Clearly a lot of people are, though. Like I said, there's a whole community over on Final Fantasy XIV that loves this gameplay. So we'll have to see how that works out in Infinity Nikki. All right. That is the interview with producer Kentaro Tominaga. I really appreciate that we were able to get this from Irie. If you want to go and follow her and show her some love, she actually is really awesome. She really is. I love her YouTube videos. I don't play Love Nikki. This is back when I played Love Nikki. I loved her storytime videos so much. All right, so we're going to go watch the video. So this is Paper Games' official YouTube channel for the English version of Infinity Nikki. I'll put the link to this in the description. If we look at videos, there is only one video posted 23 hours ago. It has 51,000 views, which I think is really cool. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to pause it. We're going to enlarge it and look at things. There will be a link to the YouTube channel with its one video if you'd like to watch this without me talking and pausing and enlarging. But let's go ahead and start this up. Hang on, and let's rewind it and go. So it starts with it is really, I've watched this twice now. This is my third time to watch it. It has these stunning backgrounds. Let's pause it here. This is why I got excited about housing. Like, why do you keep going on about housing? It was this little house here, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get housing. But from doing the research, I'm seeing nothing about housing. So this must be a part of this background, a part of this area. There's this little house maybe for you to explore, but I have not seen a word about housing. All right, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, let's try this again. So the first part of the video is just showing the beautiful areas, and they are stunning. They are lovely. Oh, there's our girl. Okay, before we start, the first thing you're going to see is she's going to jump. And whenever she's jumping all over the place, there's so much 3D platformer play in this, at least certainly in the announcement video. So I'm not a big 3D platformer, but it looks like I'm gonna be. So, but in midair when she's jumping around doing all the 3D platformer stuff, you'll see her change into outfits like mid-air. So my guess is there's got to be buttons where you preset buttons or something somewhere where you can that you can assign to certain outfits, that you can just click on that button, or something where you can immediately change to that outfit and get the special ability of that outfit. The first outfit we're going to see looks like reminds me of Sailor Mercury. Her special ability in that outfit, it's a blue outfit. It looks like some kind of maybe water thing. I don't know. It's got Sailor Mercury vibes. So let's watch her change. She's going to change. And then boom, Sailor Mercury vibes. And then here's the 3D platformer. Lots of this gameplay. I don't know if it's just this video or if the game itself, they really leaned into this particular type of gameplay. She's about to change again, once again, and I guess she needs another ability. Oh yes, she changes here. And then she's able to heal that tree. And then she continues on her 3D, she changed back to the 3D platform. And then she changed back to where she could heal another nature area. Oh, and then there's just this lovely thing. The lovely seal. And then watch her change again. There, this one allows her to float so she doesn't get fall damage. Okay, wait, I'm going to stop here because I want you to watch her change. So she's changed. What have we had? We've had her Sailor Mercury outfit that she's clearly using for 3D platformer stuff. Then she changed into another outfit to heal the plants. So we've seen 2 outfit three. Then she changed again into an outfit that allowed her to float so she wouldn't get fall damage. And now we're going to watch her change for a 4th time. She's going to shrink down. So let's back it up a little bit so you can actually watch. Oops. So this is her 3rd change. So she can float. And now we're going to watch her change. She's going to change and immediately get small. Boop, there she goes. So she's tiny and she can ride Momo. There's Momo going, go Momo, go Momo. More 3D platformer stuff. Oh my gosh, so much of that. I hope you like 3D platformers. And then, okay, so let's stop here. I'm going to back up again so we can watch this. She's going to press this egg and she's going to get what I think is a recipe, especially when we were reading Kentaro Tominaga's interview. We're about to see that one paragraph. We're about to watch it. So she's going to get the recipe. Then she's going to fish. Then she's going to go catch insects in what looks like, I don't know, an animated sock? I don't know. I'll show it to you when we get there. I swear it looks like an animated sock. I am not making that up. And then so she'll have her fish, her insect, and her animated sock. And she just got her recipe. And we're going to actually see her make a suit piece. So let's back up. So we can watch. Oh, here's her. Momo doing 3D platformer. Go, 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 Momo. Oh, those thorns look like trouble. She runs, she grabs her recipe. Oh, actually, really quick, one more thing. You're going to see her change again so she can fish. So if you want to fish, he did mention that fishing does require a certain suit. I bet that's a really basic early suit. I mean, you have to be able to, if these items are needed for crafting your recipe, then you're going to get your fishing suit really fast, really early. All right, let's press the go button. There's her recipe. She changes so she can fish. And look at the fish. We're going to see that fish as an item. I don't know. That's really cool. I don't even know what's up there. Oh, is that another item? We'll see if that's an item, that star. There, see, well, let's back up. That was an animated. Oh, see, look how pretty that fish is. I'm telling you, that was an animated sock. Okay, she did that. And then she gets like she had to change her suit again. Okay, there. See the animated sock? Tell me that's not an animated sock. Tell me that's not an animated sock puppet. All right, so let's back up again. She catches her animated sock. She catches her dragonfly. This looks like sim gameplay to me. So maybe there's more. Okay, let me pause it here. Okay, so she fished, she got her items. Now we're about to see, and she picked up that scroll. Now we're about to see her craft the suit piece. So let's back up again. There's the sock, animated sock. Sorry. It's just very cute. But, okay, I'm going to stop here really quick before we go back to the recipe. I don't know if you've noticed how empty this world is. There is nobody but Nikki and Momo. And I really, 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 really hope they change that and populate it with lots of NPCs. I've played open world games that were not very populated, and it's very, very lonely. Oh my God, it is so lonely. Like, it hurts your heart. It's so like, I'm not playing this anymore. I'm in this giant world all by myself. This is clearly single player. I'm not seeing any mention of MMOs, nothing like that. I'm not seeing, no one's talking about it, and also you don't see it in the gameplay. So you're not going to see other players. So the only way you can populate this open world, this vast world, so it's not so depressingly lonely, is you're going to have to put NPCs in it, and then you're going to have to give those NPCs character, and you know, they can't be too flat, otherwise it's just, I don't know, it's just so lonely. All right, that was a bit of a segue. Let's get back to her crafting her recipes. We're going to pause it when she opens up where she crafts her recipe and take a look at the items that are needed for crafting. So here she is. Okay, she's about to open her thing so she can craft her recipe. Let's pause it and let's take a look at this. So here are the items. There's the fish she caught. There's the animated sock. There's the dragonfly. Is that the other thing she got? Like the star? I don't know what that was. Here is the piece that she's about to craft, the suit piece she's about to craft. And as we come over here, we actually see the entire suit. And we've got check marks by all these three. It looks like all she's missing for the suit is that top, the vest, the waistcoat, which she's about to craft. So let's go out of here. And let's watch her craft the waistcoat, the vest, depending on where you're from, what it's called. So she's crafting her last piece. And there she's wearing it with Momo to do a magic act. And she's changing, she's opening a cafe. Now she's heading to Ruin Island. I don't. Did say Mirrorland, it totally, oh my God. Oh, that one changed, she changed giant. She can yell, so that suit makes her big. I just realized, that's another question people have been asking, is this Mirrorland? I just realized in that press release that they gave to IGN, it said it reimagines Mirrorland in 3D. So that answers that question. Is this Mirrorland? Well, according to IGN.com, it is. And I'm telling you, they didn't write that. They were given a press release. They might have, like I said, added their little zhuzh to it, their own little flavor to it. But that was a press release. All right, so let's back this up again and get back into it. Here she's like fighting things. So there she turns really big with that suit and yells. And then she's like fighting these little dudes. Oh look, she turned back into her Mercury platformer suit. Fighting little dudes. Oh wait, did she change? Wait a minute. Was she changing them? Like healing? She is healing them or something. She keeps changing between her healing suit and her platformer suit. I wonder if those little dudes have also, like the tree and the other thing, they were turned evil or something, or corrupted. I bet it's corrupted. They were corrupted by some force, and then she can heal them. That's what she's doing. Check it out. She's going to be switching between her healing suit and healing these little creatures and her platformer suit. So there's these little guys. Heal, platform. Jump, jump, jump. Changed her healing suit really quick. Heal, heal. Okay, yeah, and then she's being... Okay, there's corruption in this world. She's healing corruption. Oh, definitely 3D platformer. Go, 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 my little friend. Okay, this must be your platformer suit. This is what she's always wearing as she jumps around. I wonder if those are more corrupted little dudes. She's not healing them. She's like, sorry, man, you're on your own. Heal yourself. I'm like, no, Nikki, you go back and you heal them. Like, they're sprites. I don't care that they're sprites. You have to heal them. More 3D platformer. Oh, she's not wearing her 3D platformer. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, stop. I just thought of something. He said that some of the suits allow you to float. I wonder what I'm calling the Sailor Mercury suit the one that she's clearly wearing is a platformer. I wonder if that is the one that allows her to float. Of course, we also saw the one where she wouldn't get fall damage. That might be the one he was talking about, because he put that one on so she didn't fall. All right, so let's wrap this up. We're almost done here. And then, oh my God. That still makes my heart hurt when I see it. It's so pretty. It's so, can you imagine? Oh. This is beautiful. This game is beautiful. Stunningly beautiful. I don't know about that dress. That dress is okay, but the rest is really cool. I'm not feeling that dress. It's just all, I don't like really monochromatic stuff that kind of, I don't know, that one needed a little more something to it. All right, let's go back to the original graphic and wrap up. All right, so that's everything about the announcement video that was dropped yesterday. It's so exciting. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited for that game. I can't decide if I want to play it on a little tiny, like my phone, but I love being able to take my phone wherever I go, and then I can play wherever I am. Or if I'd want to play, I'm just not a console game player. I don't know. I don't know. But I remember I used to play, the first time I played New Leaf, I played it on my tiny little 3DS, and I was like, I love it. I can go anywhere with it. And then New Horizon came out on the Switch. It was the first time I ever saw an Animal Crossing game on the big screen, and oh my gosh, it was stunning. So we'll see. We'll see where I play this. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I don't even like 3D platforms very much, 3D platformer games. And I'm excited for this game. So, oh my gosh. Okay. Nobody expects it anytime soon. So, we need to put our excitement in our back pocket. And we're going to have to wait until it comes out. But the hype has started. Oh my God, the hype has started. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody has an excellent week. And I will talk to you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.